Life in 25. It's curriculum vitae. I'm born to whom and why because my mother's identity is not even known to herself, and my father seems to only be a memory for those that remember, and grandma is already everybody else's mother. Brothers and sisters that will never be my brothers and sisters, and cousins that will never be my cousins because they're taking the place of my siblings, so I guess there's no place for me. Or maybe I just was misplaced. Brenda would come and Brenda would go, and then she'll mistreat me, and then she'll let me go. But she abusing herself just as bad. Hello to drugs in prison. Childhood innocence is sadly robbed and taken abruptly, and the more that I learn, the more I understand, and the more that I understand, the more lies and secrets I discover that will never be unveiled. And the more that I discover, the more I'm confused. And then I get me a mutt for a dog, and a CD player with some cheap ass headphones, and they're my only temporary escape from the things that seem to be stripping me of my childhood, stripped to my bones. And a cousin that is a brother is unveiled, and I discover that he's a cousin and my uncle all in one. Baffled. But I feel his pain like it's my own because no one even thought to tell him until my aunt got murdered. I guess I'm gonna need me a boombox now, because it's CD player after CD player, grandma, then Brenda, and then grandma, then Brenda, a dead dog, a new problem, a new environment, and the choice to live with Brenda, my mother, and never look back. A complete denial of reality. And then a discussion that grandma had with me that should have been lengthy, but is entirely too brief and leaves me in complete disbelief. It's told me that my mother has HIV. I love her so much, but it's like, I just hate her so bad, and her problems, they just seem to be my problems now, and as I try to deal with them both, I begin to forget what life's supposed to be about. Starving. Yeah, that shit really happens to people, but I never ever thought that it would happen to me, but I refuse. So world, feel the wrath that is me. That's when I died. And I'm spiraling upward in a negative world, and then I'm sinking to the bottom of the actual, but bad becomes good and good becomes bad, and I guess I never cared either way at the time. And then I get shot. But still not waking up to a realization, even when Brenda kicks me out of a home that isn't even a home, in the cold, on crutches. It was the coldest winter and the longest of my existence. Still, I ain't wake up. And still, I returned home. School. The life that I'm living now doesn't seem to require such a tedious thing. And when I try to return myself back to it, it's going to be impossible to enroll myself without a guardian. Hello? Well, bad decisions. Distinct that is Brenda, it's starting to like permeate my mind, and that lengthy conversation that grandma should have had is never had with me by anybody. And so new information about Brenda's husband gives a new focus to my untamable anger. It's a useless relief though. I guess I'm going to Job Corps because the streets is weighing a tremendous toll on me. And it was an unsuccessful venture which ended in a flurry of fists. And to this day, I don't know what I even expected to accomplish. And then finally, Child Family Services intervened, and yeah, their arrival into my life was too late and completely untimely. And the environment within myself is too much of a storm to be accepting of their assistance or their presence. A train ride that cost me 36 months. 36 months of my life that did not exist or happen. But I lived through it, and I learned more about myself than any other time before. Hello to me. Then, valedictorian of my GED class, and a push in my back to prove myself wrong. James, where are you? Better swallow your pride, young man, because Child Family Services is here to assist you, no matter how minimal their help may seem. And so they needed to change some things, and the Youth Advisory Board was developed by none other than me. Then they give me an award against all odds, and the title seems to be the most appropriate and me the proper recipient. But just because everybody else is convinced, sometimes you still need to convince yourself, and I didn't believe. And then I had some friends that I love to death, but I got an even more dangerous loyalty to. And if I don't distance myself from these people, they most definitely gonna sink the ship that I'm sailing. And just because no one ever cared doesn't mean that no one never will. So I accept Mr. Brown into my life as my godfather and realize that he cannot be pushed away. The father that I need and that son that he never had. Hey, you remember that loyalty? Well, more bad decisions. They cost me 30 more months of my life that will never exist. But in the loss, I grasped who I want to be. I just needed to see who I wasn't. It was like a rebirth. Hello to James Coley. A sunny day outside that is ironically pouring down rain. Outside I am alone, but I can't escape from myself. It's always going to be there, screaming its presence. I cry in the sunny rain while I walk. Confused. And now, working a job, doing something I've never done. In school, learning a life that I've never learned. And my biggest obstacle right now seems to just be me. It's no more excuses, James. The ball is in your court, the world is in your palms, and that pen's in your fingertips.